What's up, Ak? You know what it is. Diesel D, tell. They don't want none. That you heard what I said, Wrestling Podcast. We here to go over the AEW Impact relationship that might be looming on the horizon. We're going to start off with last week's episode of AEW Dynamite Winter's Coming. We're going to go over some key points and just give our analysis and our predictions of what we think going to come, future storylines heading into 2021. First off, we know coming up this week we have TH2 challenging the Young Bucks for the AEW Tag Team Championships. My first question, guys, who do you think wins this match?
Super Kick Party! Young Bucks.
Short and sweet.
Retaining
it's gonna be a good match.
I believe it will be a good match.
Yeah,
Two athletic fucking
yes,
teams.
they are.
But this reign for the Bucks just started, and it ain't stopping now. Young Bucks gonna get it done.
Sure.
Interesting point. Who do you think could be next, or who do you think you want to see next challenge the Young Bucks if they win this match for the tag titles next?
I would like to see.
I want to see them as best friends.
I'd like to see the Best Friends Private Party or Death Triangle.
I like that.
Yes.
I like that.
Speaking of the Death Triangle, there was a behind the scenes clip after they went off the air of Eddie Kingston coming out and calling out Jake the Snake Roberts and wanted to confront him. That led to a whole full-blown melee with Ray Phoenix, Pentagon, Lance Archer, Butcher Bleed, the whole family coming out, and they get into a melee after everything went off the air. So it's interesting to see where that goes, because we have a 6-man tag coming up this Wednesday, as we have Ray Phoenix, we have Penta, L0M, and we have Lance Archer going up against Eddie Kingston and the Butcher and the Bleed, his family, in a 6-man tag match. It's going to be interesting. How you guys feel about this encounter?
Well, like just all hills doing better.
Yeah, it really does. It really does.
Sound like a good match.
It is. You know how good that tag match was?
Yeah.
A couple weeks prior. It's just a 6-man tag match.
Well, about time they do Lance Archer back and something.
Yeah, that's true. Get them involved and stuff.
We can't forget about one of the major key points. We had a tag team match, which pitted the face of TNT, the TNT champion Darby Allin, and the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes against Powerhouse Hobbs and Absolute Ricky Starks of Team Tabs. This was a good ass match. It was a good match. But let's not forget, it was the debut of the icon.
Winter is coming.
Sting. Sting! His debut on AEW. Man, Spacey 60 years old, and he signed a multi-year contract with AEW. He's supposedly not supposed to take any bumps, but he's supposed to be a constant character on the show. It's going to be interesting to see how they feature Sting, how they'll keep it compelling, how they can bring anybody in. But let's be real. This is the publicity stunt. This is a big name. They can bring in a former person that used to a former big star of the former TNT. You know, it's so nostalgic, so cliche. I mean, all they can do is just try to do what they do to bring more fans in with Sting. How do you feel about it?
Like, as he was saying, he's popular. It's a publicity thing. A lot of fans like him. He could also help get a bunch of people over. And another thing, I thought the man was 56. I looked it up. He's 61.
The man is 60.
And another thing with this, good for Sting for him coming in there. But I agree with what my guy, Real Overboy, said, Antonio.
What
the fuck is Sting gonna do?
Yeah, really.
Please tell me.
I mean, all it is for nostalgia purposes. To continue to bring in that demographic, that the demographic to point out, the 18 to 49. Because let's be real, none of these younger kids, and even in the 20s, really know about Sting, the real Sting, the Crow, the surfer gimmick. They don't know about that shit. So this is only to try to lure more fans in. To keep AEW as interesting as possible with bringing in the nostalgia character. Oh my God, just like, when they had WWE had the Greatest Royal Rumble and they said the Sheiks over there was asking for Yokozuna. They don't even know Yokozuna died 20 years ago. But people still love this shit. So, as he said, Sting's not going to do shit. But it's interesting to see how they're going to get involved.
Also, another thing, I saw that they said Sting's merch actually was the highest selling merch.
Yeah.
since.
He got hoodies for him. He had on his shirt. We already saying.
So you see the type of impact he already has.
Exactly.
Guess what? He will speak on next episode.
He will.
He will speak. We will hear to speak from that. We also had Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. She battled against legit Layla Hirsch, got the W with the lockjaw, and afterwards was attacked by Thunder Rosa. It's still interesting to see what's going on with Thunder Rosa. We haven't heard that she's a complete, legit AEW talent. Of course, she's maybe bouncing around everywhere. Interesting to see what goes on in that, but not to just talk about them. What's going on next for Hikaru Shida? Who will be her next challenger for the AEW? That small ass AEW Women's Champion.
Dr. Britt Baker.
I said that.
I think so too.
Wow.
She was the first woman signed to AEW.
Yeah.
She's supposed to be a major part.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, could she be next? At
She
some
out
point,
there
it's going to be her
fighting,
time, baby. Let's not forget what's going on with the TNT Championship, because ever since Darby won it, he's been in tag team matches with whatever feuds going on with Team Taz.
So
Who's next for Darby?
Obviously, look like it's one of them Team Taz people.
Team Taz person.
But we all
Taz,
don't get a shot at
Hobbs, and Stocks.
And with Darby now, TNT, as I'm saying, all the looks that Sting went to everybody around the ring, will Sting play a part in this new Darby Allin being the champion?
it.
I think he might. That's an interesting point.
It's a long, hard.
They all looked at each other. He looked right at Darby for a
So one
a
side
couple
had the face
seconds.
paint and looked at the other side, no face paint.
Mhm.
Exactly. But our biggest storyline, this is what we really want to get into. This is why winter was coming. You had the AEW World Champion John Moxley, undefeated in 2020, going up against the cleaner, Kenny Omega, reigning out of North Carolina. Don Callis was at ringside. He's been at AEW a couple times. He's been invited. Very close friend of Kenny Omega for years. At one point when this match was getting close, because this was a pretty good match. Pretty good match in Dynamite. He came down to the ring with a mic, trying to see if it wasn't on, like he wanted to talk, distracted the referee, dropped the mic in the ring on purpose. Kenny picked it up, nailed Mox, got him with the one-winged angel, stole the championship, ran out of the pin with Callis, and Callis told everybody, you'll hear from us on Tuesday. The announcer played it well. Tuesday? Dynamite till Wednesday. You'll hear from us on Tuesday on Impact. So, this will be interesting.
Yes, it
Impact's
will.
coming up. If you're not ready for it, tune in Tuesday, as we will have the AEW champion Kenny Omega on Impact. AEW is already on its path of, trying to build its own in its second year. And, in a new company, the biggest company is WWE. If any stars available from WWE and I can make something out of them, I'm going to grab them. They just were on the major stage. But it's different with Impact. Impact is different from a whole lot of the other wrestlers. To me, Impact has a lot of stars that are that fell off and they're trying to get back on place where everybody strives to be. And then when they won't want it no more, they fucked up bridges, or they may not be scouted by some of the other places. So it's like Impact will fucking take anybody. Let's go to Impact. So it's like for example, the Good Brothers. They fucked up their relationship with Matt and Nick when they were supposed to come at the debut of Dynamite. So of course they didn't want to go crying at them. We need a job. You just got fired. Let's go to Impact. They Impact Tag Team Champions. But what does that prove for them? What does that do for the Good Brothers' legacy? I mean, they're bringing out Hornswoggle to pretend to be Swoggle to pretend to be AJ Styles in a storyline with the North.
And this man even beat Ethan Page.
When both of these tag teams are fucking awesome, they should be having legitimate wrestling, and this is the storyline we have. But I mean, this is what you get out of Impact. I mean, it's interesting. How you guys feel about this?
Very interesting. It's gonna be good to see Omega on there. One, if they're gonna come up with any dream matches.
Yeah.
With this, you do have the Good Brothers.
Original OGs of the Bullet Club for life. There's so many possibilities of ways to go. I just don't want AEW to because they have so many people that they have unofficial partners and promotions with so many other promotions. AAA, they have so much going on.
And the thing is, with I actually like the Good Brothers move going to Impact. Because I told you that tag team division was almost up there with Impact. When they had the Good Brothers, the North, the return of the Motor City Machine Guns.
Mm-hmm.
That's 3 out of tag
Those
teams
three,
right
yeah.
there. And then they had the Ransom, but the Ransoms left.
Let's not forget. I mean, like I said, Impact. It's a little different. Like I personally like the talent of Ring of Honor. I like the talent of MLW. New Japan Pro Wrestling still doing their thing. If some of you guys haven't heard about the situation with Tama Tonga and the Gorillas of Destiny, you know, the open invitation for Triple H for them to work with other promotions, and that we all know that's bullshit. And a real motherfucker like Tama Tonga, he called him out. We don't want to hear that shit, bro. Y'all don't want none of that trouble. That's why y'all stay by yourself. Y'all don't want none of y'all superstars dealing with any other promotions. Y'all just want them WWE. In that bridge, y'all don't want any of that fucking smoke. But whatever.
That's not all true. Some of the people from NXT was actually fighting in different wrestlings. That's just the main roster.
I mean, but for real,
Triple H-
but you gotta
that's
understand.
That's
That's not really for real. I understand what you're saying to a degree, but to me, I'm talking about partnerships. Whereas I run my things separately, and you run your things separately. Most of WWE things came as acquisitions or mergers because they ultimately plan to buy them people, like they did with Evolve in Progress. They plan to take them anyway, so they had to take some of their wrestlers if you want to buy them up. People like Leon Ruff, Austin Theory. So many of these guys that's come recently has come for them. So I understand what you're saying. I just feel like WWE is just so selfish. It's like when we get it, it's only ours. Nobody else can get it. Another key point I want to point out. We've been talking to this amongst ourselves for a while.
I was about to say,
we have the 2 newly acquired members of the Inner Circle, MJF and Wardlow. Now the Inner Circle is now 7 members long. Now, this past Wednesday we had a match with Frankie Kazarian and the Demo God, Le Champion Chris Jericho, in which MJF came already to the towel in. I mean, Hager was already out there cheating. It was a whole bunch of shit.
Another thing, as we all darn always mentioned out, when are people going to get disqualified? Aubrey was clearly looking at them cheating during the match.
I point out from the beginning also too. MJF is trying to frame Sammy Deluxe.
Yeah.
He's been trying to do that since the beginning. That's why Sammy didn't want him in the group in the first
Exactly.
place.
Not to mention Santana wasn't there.
Yeah, Santana wasn't there either. On that note, let's talk about it. How do you think this MJF Wardlow and Inner Circle connection is going to really go down? How do you think it's going to go?
What did I say a couple months ago?
What? It's going to go downhill?
I said when they
I agree
join,
too.
this is going to be the downfall
downfall.
of the Inner Circle. I said that.
But remember,
I said in 2021.
Jericho said to him, they got to give their ultimatum is coming up.
And that's interesting to talk about that. I agree. We all agree. This is going to go downhill. And I feel like it starts this Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not forget, Jericho passed out the ultimatum for you guys to get your shit together or we're breaking up permanently. But that's not the only thing going on for the Inner Circle on Wednesday. We have the finals as freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy goes up against the reigning, defending, undisputed first winner, Maxwell Jacob Freeman, MJF. He's trying to defend his crown to be the first 2-time winner. Will the Inner Circle get their shit together and help MJF keep that shit next week? Of course, I know he's going to have Wardlow with him. I love Wardlow. It's going to be interesting.
Sound nice.
Who do y'all think wins that match?
I was going to say Orange Cassidy, but if it's really not the downfall in the circle, it will help MJF.
I think MJF
will get it.
I honestly, in my opinion, this thing's going to start spiraling out of control because I think at some point, probably going towards Revolution, somehow MJF's going to end up being the guy that gets a title shot. And Jericho and the rest of them guys, they're not going to be happy. And it's going to lead to a split of guys picking to choose between the Demo God and guys picking to choose between MJF.
It's going to be looking like the NWO.
And I honestly feel like, they're going to split into 2 different factions of the Inner Circle, where some of them are going to join the other side. And you see how Santana's so neutral?
He don't
I
know
feel like
which one to go
Santana, it might be Santana going over there, you know. Santana might be in the middle. You never know how this might go.
Or it actually might just be Santana and Ortiz again.
But I honestly feel like, depending on the way 2021 starts, I feel like if we get back to the normal living somehow and we're able to attend live events again, I feel like they make it to a point where Jericho starts to do performances again and goes on concerts. And I feel like that will be the gist of the real breakup between the Inner Circle, where he actually ends up getting beat up and beat out of the Inner Circle. So he goes and does his concert, where MJF ultimately takes over the Inner Circle and guys start to obey him because Jake Hager may be out also. He may have a fight with MMA, and Wardlow becomes that muscle and he's scaring everybody to do what MJF says. To the point where MJF finally gets that fucking championship. That leads to the return of the Demo God, where he can get yet another reign, maybe his last, because he's getting up there. And this could be a hell of a feud. You've already seen the chemistry these guys have with the Den of Debonair, their fight to get him in the Inner Circle. I would love a title feud between MJF and Chris Jericho.
I would too. I also wouldn't mind Wardlow either.
I definitely would.
One last thing. Winter is Coming was good. I love AEW and all, getting to showcase all the performers I couldn't see, like on the independent circuit. I got to see them for the last 2 years. But on this last episode of Dynamite, Winter is Coming, every damn match, it was some kind of distraction every single match. Why?
And this is strictly supposed to be an AEW Impact episode, but point out to him,
match, though?
on AEW, in some form or fashion, there was some kind of cheat or count or something that messed up the match. On that same end, on WWE this week, if you looked at SmackDown and Raw, on Raw, 5 of the 6 matches on Raw ended in a roll-up pin. A roll-up pin.
No.
The New Day, Xavier Woods run in a roll-up pin.
The only one that wasn't a roll-up pin was the good-ass triple threat match.
That match at the end was the only match that didn't end in a roll-up pin. Asuka and Lana, they won in a roll-up pin. Every match ended in a roll-up pin except for that main event. And I'm like, why the fuck is nobody wants the decisive victory? This is how we're going to end the year? Like, we gotta get more decisive victories.
It was 2 matches that Aubrey was refereeing, and she clearly saw them cheating.
Yeah.
She saw Jake Hager grab Kazarian's leg and didn't do nothing. She said, "I'm watching you. Why didn't you get tossed in the ring?"
Another thing.
And Santana up there hitting him with a damn bandana and stuff outside the ring, and she ain't see that either.
Also, the funny thing, the referee keep ringing the bell. Act like they can't break nobody else.
WCW. That shit not going to
Yo, the referee, Thunder Rosa and motherfucking Britt Baker was fighting for like 2 minutes and they just ringing the bell.
It was like
the old
10
WCW.
referees in a
Ding,
ring.
ding, 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 ding,
Act like y'all
ding,
can't hold them back.
Yo, if y'all don't stop these little ass women, like.
And then they gonna say the referee was trying to break it up. He didn't
even tell you, just
not even
standing there,
touched him.
just looking.
He was. Man. Or will there be a revolution by Impact into AEW?
We gonna see with this Don
It
Callis.
could be a bond because they could bring in the woman since they bring in the knockouts titles back in Hard to Kill.
Yeah,
exactly.
Bring in them tag team titles.
And that would be
Since it
interesting.
don't look like
I would love to see Diamante and Eva Lee show up in Impact after
right
whoever
now.
wins the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championships. Just
and
show up like we want
Diamante
some shots.
was already in Impact.
Like
for
there's
part of
there's so
LAX.
many storylines. As long as they're written right and they know how to mold them, that can happen from this relationship. It just
come down to final resolution too. Whatever happened on that
final resolution.
pay-per-view.
Rich Swann,
next week.
Chris Bay for the Impact
Ultimate
World
Lesson.
Championship. Final resolution. Who's gonna take it? It's gonna be interesting. We will find out. Y'all got anything else?
A lot of people really calling the saying Chris Bay gonna win that match. I don't think so.
No, come on, Eric
We'll
Swan.
see, though.
Hey.
You gotta keep that.
Baltimore's own Richard Swann. You know what to do. But
It's on
the
you.
ultimate finesse, that's my guy, Chris Bay. We're gonna see what's up.
Yeah.
But hey, that's all we got. Our AEW Impact relationship analysis, retrospect, perspective, whatever you want to call it. These with D, tell they don't want none. Y'all heard what I said. This is the Wrestling Pod. We out.